Hello everybody. I am trying something new with videos where I'm going to paint and talk. And in that painting and talking about things about being an artist, things about being an artist online, and hopefully with some advice on the kind of things you can skip. What I mean by that is there's a lot of artists' advice online by so-called art influencers, and they tend to have a lot of promises. I gotta tell you, a good bit of it is bullshit, or unnecessary, oft repeated things that are not necessarily accurate. How about that? That sounds a little better than BS, doesn't it? So I am working on a great blue heron. We're in the early stages yet. I'm just coming down, and this is watercolor and ink, including graphitin on canvas, using a watercolor ground. So what do I mean by, well, artist influencer BS? Usually it's with the promise that they can help you do something. If you just give them a little bit of money, they're going to help you be successful, or they're going to help you do this or help you do that. And I find these promises are frequently coming from people who do not appear to be particularly successful, or, are not making a living with their art, but trying to tell you that if you send them some money, they're going to help you do that. So I think one of the biggest ones is finding your style. I've been asked about how to find your style, and what you need to do to find your style. And I have to say that for the most part, I don't actually think it's something that needs found. But very frequently they will tell you that there are certain steps to finding your style. You need to emulate the artist that you love. You need to, experiment with different mediums. And I'll grant that is, things you can do, things you need to do as a beginning artist. But there is no specific roadmap for determining style. There's really no specific roadmap for trying to find a good way to put it. No specific roadmap for how to get there. And style is also an ever-changing and evolving thing. It's not like you go, aha, I have found my style. My life is complete. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I don't have to study. I don't have to, increase my learning because I have found my style. I have made it. And it's just woefully inaccurate, really, in the end. Because it's not how it works. We find our style via practice, via making work over and over and over again. And we see what we enjoy, maybe secondarily, what our audience might enjoy. And over time, we develop a style, we develop an artistic voice. That's how it really works. And you need to beware of influencers, especially influencers who, say that they're successful artists, but maybe you don't see a body of work with them. They say they're successful artists, but what they're successful at is selling programs to beginner artists, not actually in their own work. Which I know that there are exceptions, and that there are some kind, great people trying to help other people out there. But most of the time, for the most part, they're charlatans. They just want to separate you from your money. I am coming in with just some beginning layers of color. You start light, you build darker. This background is actually graphitint. Graphitint is a ink and graphite. I know it looks like watercolor pans, but it's actually ink and graphite, and it works wonderfully for backgrounds. Once it's dry, it's not going anywhere, so you don't have to worry about reactivating it. So I actually had a graphitint underpainting for this painting. And I am now adding raw sienna to some of these details here, because there's a lot of light in this. I don't know another way to describe it. From my reference photo, the way the sun was hitting the water on this day is really, really beautiful. And it had, this beautiful color in it. But, yeah. If I sound, negative about influencers, it's just mostly because I rarely see one that isn't just trying to make a buck off of beginner artists who, really, really want to be successful. Another thing that they frequently do is like they'll put like this huge amount of money on like their videos still. Make $10,000 a month or $150,000 a month, and they are not making that. Or if they do make it, they make it off of you. There is no tried and true formula to make a specific amount of money. Also be wary if, there are promises that their program will lead you to be a professional artist within a year or two. Thousands of dollars of money. I can think of a few programs out there that, while they may teach you some art skills, are not necessarily gonna lead you to fame and fortune within a year. And frankly, a lot of the art programs I see that promise this are frequently overlooking fundamentals. Important fundamentals. So I'm just still going with my raw sienna here to get my lightest colors in. So a lot of this was like, really, he was really glowing. I don't know another way to put it. But my son and I were walking on a trail in Patapsco State Park along the Patapsco River, and saw this wonderful heron hunting. Now, I am using the reference photo that I took. However, I did change him a little bit because he was so focused on the water, looking down his beak, that he was a bit cross-eyed. I thought, well, that's adorable, but perhaps not, perhaps that would not translate well into the painting. So I wanted to make him with a little bit more serious of a look on his face. Right now he kind of looks angry, but I will fix that. So what happens with these paintings is layer after layer after layer, and I just add and add and add. Now, why should you listen to me? Well, so they say, don't listen to art influencers, don't listen to people online, and here I am online telling you this. Well, I would say, I'm not asking you for any money. I'm not promising you anything. The minute they start making promises, the minute they start telling you, I will let you in on my secrets once you pay me this miracle amount of money, understand that you are in the realm of someone, one, promising you success, especially like in a get-rich-quick sort of way, if they're talking that way, and understand that what they are selling is an idea, not necessarily a reality. Now let me see. I might come in with this. I think I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I might come in with a lighter wash of blue in some of these areas. Here. I think up towards here. Well, let me get a little bit more here. It's a little bit more down in there. I love doing watercolor on canvas. I swear I might get to a point where I just decide I don't want to use paper anymore. I'm not there yet, but I am just absolutely loving it. Anyway, that is my thought for the day on influencers and a lot of their BS. I don't know. Can you say bullshit on YouTube? I don't know.